Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am here for the first challenge of the Rediscover Your Stash challenge going on from today. That is the 22nd until the end of September. And Christina Sorge posted our first challenge in our Facebook event group. And this is it. It is a page maps page sketch. I accidentally cut it off when I cut and pasted it and printed it. So here's what it is. It's a one photo layout. I'm actually going to stretch this to a 12 by 12 page, and I'm going to literally put a camera here. I'm going to use this Amy Tangerine camera for this. So this, I'm literally going to interpret the sketch for this. However, this down here with these 9 boxes, I'm going to be inspired by those 9 boxes because I'm not going to use them exactly in boxes. At least that's my plan. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to turn out, but let's see what I can do. So I'm starting this layout the way I seem to start a lot of layouts lately, and that is cutting off a 1/2 inch on 2 sides of the paper and placing it on top of another paper just to have that border around the edge. Now for this paper I actually gutted it, and I did that because I wanted to use that pink paper as a mat for my photos. And I found this Amy Tangerine die cut, and it's not the exact same size of my photo, so I just trimmed down the photo a little bit so that it would line up next to each other and there wouldn't be a gap or there wouldn't be some sort of awkward space I had to fill up. And I regret it using that pink color as my mat because I knew I was going to follow the sketch where it had the entire grid and photo matted, and I wasn't thinking when I did it. I thought that for some reason I was so focused on getting that photo and that little card where I'm going to journal to be one element, I didn't even think about the full mat for where all the little grid pieces go. Now I decided I did not want to have such a symmetrical grid, and that was because this is going to be the opening page to Jelly Belly factory trip. I think I have another layout that I did as part of the Oh So Inspired collaboration that was going to be the opening photo, but I've decided this one really needs to be the opening photo and the opening page just because it is screaming fun. And that's because my husband decided to do a sexy pose in front of the jelly car and it just set the tone for the entire day. We just had a great time and it was just a lot of fun. So I didn't want that linear grid, but I knew I wanted to still have a grid, but I wanted to make it a little bit more fun. So I decided to just basically color block with my papers. And I decided to use that cork tape as one of the blocks. So that was exciting because I need to use up some of this cork, guys. Like, I still look at my stash and go, how in the world did I get so much cork? I think it's just I liked it and I just kept getting some. Who knows? Anyway, moving on from the cork. So I just, made all of those shapes, squares and rectangles for the grid, and I pulled out some scraps that I had not pulled out for this stash kit. And that was because I did not want to cut into 12 by 12 papers for like 2 by 3 blocks. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. I have a scrap like file folder system where I keep scraps organized by color because when I think of paper, I think I need a color, not I need a motif or I need a polka dot or I need that kind of thing. Unless it's Christmas. Then I'm like, I need Christmas papers. But, so I just went and pulled scraps that I thought would go well with basically the photo, because the paper I pulled from my kit was this black kind of chevron herringbone kind of deal. But I got them all done, and I decided to ink them up. No, I decided not to ink them up. That is right. I'm staring at my inks while I said that. I decided not to ink them up. Not all of them, at least. Some of them are. I think, did I ink these pages? I have no idea. I've got to like get up and go look at this layout because I can't tell on the screen and I'm not really watching what I'm doing. Yes, they are inked. They are inked with black ink. Yes, they are. They're inked with black soot distress ink, so it's very faint and you can't really see it. Goodness. I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing. Well, to be fair, I did have to do this layout over 2 days because, I had to stop scrapbooking to go to work. So this is where I realized I needed that matte underneath all of them. So I went for a gray cardstock. I thought that was neutral. I already had the black. I didn't want white under there because of all the white that was in the pattern papers that I had used. And plus, not all those whites exactly match. Like, they're not all like pure crisp white. Some of them have a little bit of cream in there. So I just wanted to pick a neutral, and I didn't want black because I already had black. There I am. There I'm inking. I'm inking. Could have just waited a few minutes and then I would have known what I was doing. Goodness. Okay. So I didn't want black because I have the black paper already, and craft was a total no-go. So I went with gray. And I'm happy with the gray. Except I really wish I did not matte that photo and that journaling piece on the pink. Because, I don't know. It just, I'm happy with the layout overall, and when I look at it, I'm like fine, and I do go, oh man, I wish I didn't matte that photo. But while I'm watching myself do this, I'm thinking to myself, Sandy, pull that pink mat off. You don't need it. But it is what it is, people, and the fact of the matter is I'm using up stash, and I got a challenge finished with this layout, and I'm moving along in my 2016 album, so everything is basically coming up roses. This little plaid piece is an old basic gray plaid paper that I've had sitting in my scrap bin for a while, and it seems like I only use teeny tiny little pieces of it, and eventually it's going to get small enough where I'm just recycling it, but it's not there yet. It is making it back into the black file folder. Okay, so we're getting everything done now. We're making some progress, and I'm going to use this foam thicker as my title. It did not stick as much as some of the other foam thickers from this particular sticker sheet. Like, I had a hard time pulling off these foam thickers. It's like their adhesive on the foam is super high, and the adhesive on the cardstock ones or the chipboard ones are super low. It's like, get it together, American Crafts. Okay, so I went and got those, what are those? Cork borders. And when I pulled it out, I knew I had a scalloped one, and I actually didn't even see it. I had left behind in the packaging. So I just kind of eyeballed it and cut off the edge where I wanted to go. And I was going to put that camera over top of it so that one rhinestone had to come off. And I'm actually going to maneuver another rhinestone so that I can put on my title piece right there. But I grabbed some, just some regular old foam. I got it from Michael's. I'm just slowly going through all of it. I don't just use that foam, though, to pop things up. Like, my foam colors that I have are this light tan, a dark brown, a black, a white, and a gray. And I actually use them in my Sizzix machine to cut out, basically make my own foam thickers. I have a Tim Holtz font that I really love, and I use that to cut it out. So I gotta say though, I'm definitely getting the sticker backed foam next time. It'll just make it so much easier for the letters. Okay, so I had to go back to my scrap bin again, and I felt like some yellow. The yellow really just pops at me on this layout, and I don't know if that's because I really like scrapbooking with yellow and orange, or something's going on. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because the Jelly Belly is yellow. Whatever. Something is making the yellow pop at me. So I wanted to emphasize that a little bit. So I got my Little B ticket punch, and I love this ticket punch. It actually punches the tickets in a way that you can pull the tickets apart and the perforation happens, and that to me is so fun. So I had to figure out where I wanted the Hooray to go, and that meant placement of the tickets. And I thought I was going to have it overlap a couple of the grid blocks, but I decided I didn't like that. I was okay with it overlapping like off the grid, but I did not like it overlapping and combining the grid blocks. I didn't like that connection. And I had actually torn that word hooray when I put it down on my desk. But since it was a foam thicker, it's no big deal to just stick it back together. Like, you can't even tell that it was ripped in half. And here I am pulling out some of this Fancy Pants cork. And I know I want to use a heart, but I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go yet. And I'm a little afraid I'm going to go into cork overload on this layout because it's so much in my mind that I need to get the cork on the paper. But I take a break for a second, and I'm off looking for other stuff right now. And I thought I cut out all of this looking around stuff, but I guess I did not. Alright, if I don't come back in a second, I'm gonna... Alright. Yep, there I am. Hooray! I came back. Oh, I was flipping through my sticker sheets. That's where I am. Okay, so I really wanted to use that sticker, and in my original plan, in my original thought in my head, that sticker was going to be one of the grid sections, and I wasn't just going to have squares. I was going to do shapes with circles with that Viewmaster reel, and I was thinking about doing a jelly bean. I mean, I had some ideas in it, and I ended up just going with the rectangles, and I'm happy with that. Like, I think it looks fine. And I just decided to grab these sticker sheets and pull little things that could make each of the little grid blocks a little bit more fun. Now, not every one of them are being touched by embellishments. The cork stays plain, so does the basic gray wooden, black plaid. I don't even know where wooden came from. And this little smile speech bubble, I cut off the little hang down on it, so it is no longer a speech bubble, and it's just a smile. And I thought that that was appropriate. Since this is a very happy page and everything's talking about happy and smiling and great times and adventures and all that kind of good stuff. It's a very generic word that I see on scrapbooking pages, and I probably put them on scrapbooking pages all the time, but sometimes those generic words just work. Now, I pulled these gold stickers off because I knew I was going to add some gold. And I thought I was going to do that with gold splatter. However, I did it with these gold stickers and also some gold enamel dots. So the splatter didn't make it on the page because I felt like that might have been taking the gold a little bit too far. I might have gone a little bit far with the gold already, but you know what? I did it. Okay, so I'm just finagling these around and deciding where I want them to go. And then in a minute here, I'm going to take a glance at my watch and realize I need to get going to work, so the video is going to change. And here is where I realized where that cork heart could go, because I had tried to use that gold heart right there, and I thought perfect. I didn't like it with the gold heart, but that cork heart would be great. And then that way I would have cork kind of spread around the page a little bit. And then I tried to pull in another cork, but I was like, nope, getting a little bit cork crazy. Cork crazy for sure. Okay, and this is where I decided I needed to leave and go to work. Didn't really want to, and here I am back today. And I'm just reacquainting myself with what I was doing. And I decided to pull these Freckled Fawn metal clips. And I think I've said before, I don't like the clips. I like popping the little enamel piece off and using them that way. I'm just not a fan of the whole paper clip movement and tucking it in between layers. I love me some layers, but I don't know what it is. I can't get on board with that. Although I've got to watch what I say about when I don't like something or I don't understand something, because it never fails as soon as it comes out of my mouth and I actually make it out there in the world to be known, I want one. Like it happened with the Traveler's Notebooks. But I waited and did not buy myself a Traveler's Notebook, and I'm back to I really don't need one, I really don't want one. I was thinking about doing it for lists, but honestly, I like a list on a paper pad that I can cross off and throw away because I like the fulfillment of it. So anyway, I don't know. I don't see myself loving these clips. I mean, it's been years and I haven't loved the clips. I mean, years. Back when, like, shops like 2Ps and Lifetime Moments and Rocky Mountain Scrapbooking were around and swaps were all the rage. And we did paper clip swaps with some of those items. I hated them then. I wouldn't say I hate them now, but I dislike them strongly. So I popped those off, and now I'm just sticking things down because for some reason those gold stickers didn't have sticky, and like I've said before with those chipboard word phrases, sometimes I pull off more chipboard just so it has a different level of thickness so that the page has different levels on it. And I'm looking at this, and I'm not sure if I like those rhinestones over there, but I mean, they'd be easy to pop off, so, and I've got time to decide. I'm not going to put any of my layouts in the albums because I want to do a how many layouts I finish share like I did the last time. I'm trying to beat last time's amount, and that was, I believe, 30 layouts, so I definitely want to do a little bit more than that. So I grab those gold enamel dots and I sprinkle them around, and I do cover up that little heart on the camera, but I knew I wanted something on top of the camera a little bit more than just that title, and that big gold one didn't work for me at the camera lens, but it does work for me right there where that little teeny heart was. So I just sprinkled them around, and I'm trying to use a mix of the bigger ones and the smaller ones, because sometimes you get enamel dots and those suckers are huge. I mean, huge. And you're like, what the crap is this? This is not a dot. This is like a spill. I'm not sure. So I pull out the stickles, and I end up having to poke it with my little pokey thingy. Now, when I had the stickles underneath, like upside down like this, they worked fine when I was using them all the time, but they kind of dried up. Now, I'm actually going to turn the video off so you don't see me stickle, but then I'm going to show you that I stickled everything that was yellow, like that A, that border, and also the triangles. And here's a few close-ups for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. And I hope you guys have a great week. And like I said, if you're interested in joining this Use Your Stash Challenge, just go ahead and click on one of the links below. All right, guys, bye.